Well, kia ora, fellow classmates, back again for another episode of Where Are They Now? Now, all the boys are really are enjoying these videos and catch up with your fellow classmates and friends from yesteryear when we all went to stream. And the next fella that we have lined up is just wonderful because I haven't heard or seen from him in so long, and I know the same will be said for you guys. It's time to say g'day to your fellow classmate, Mr. Troy Wathey. G'day, Troy. Kia ora.
Yeah, kia ora, Eugene. How are you, mate? Hey, I just got to say, hey, thank you for this. I think it's just awesome what you're doing. Brings back a whole lot of good memories and some interesting memories. And thank you, man. Really appreciate this.
Thank you so much, Troy. And I know the guys will be buzzing. They'll be like, "What, yeah. Troy Wathey? Wow, what's he been up to? Where's he been?" And this is what this is all about. And man, you're looking really good, Troy. It's nice to hear your voice again.
Yeah, no, things have been good, man. I'm in a good space in my life. Busy. I'm in a busy time in my life, but 45, as we all know. You sort of reflect, but also still looking forward. I'm living in Hawke's Bay now. I've been here for quite a while, for 15 years or so.
Yeah, beautiful part of the country. A lot of our boys were from the Bay. Let's kick straight into it, Troy. Now, give us the recap. How many years did you end up doing at Stream? What took you, or what brought you to Silverstream? And can you remember your first, I guess, impressions of Silverstream? I know you were a boarder. Can you remember who were your boarding mates around you and things like that? Give us a recap.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, I was, the interesting thing for me, I was from sort of Upper Hutt and Pinehaven, you would say. I was already living there. I was living with my grandparents. My grandparents brought me up. And anyway, I went to St. Joseph's School, Catholic school in Upper Hutt, where, people like Andrew Williams, James Bell, Martin Watterson, Nolan, a lot of St. Pat's Day boys, end up coming to St. Pat's. But anyway, so that was where I started. So it was a Catholic school. But actually I left in Form 1 and I went to Hadlow, another boarding school in Marston. And so I was there. It was a bit of a shock to go to boarding school at sort of, 12 or something like that. And so at the end of that, which was a bit of a shock, to be honest, being at that age at boarding school. And so then after that, they said, where do you want to go? Rathkill or St. Pat's? And it was a bit of a toss of the coin, but, I knew people from St. Joseph's, so I went to St. Pat's. And so, interesting enough, I went as a boarder. And when I arrived, in some ways, it was like another boarding, you know what I mean? I knew what to expect in some ways, living on site and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so I ended up, I think, in the Bay. I think I remember, who was it? Tyson, Greg Mookie, and I think it was O'Connor. And O'Connor was great because it was great musical, into all sorts of Guns N' Roses and Deaf Kennedys and all sorts of crazy sort of music I hadn't really heard of before, but it was a great group. And it wasn't, but it was that classic. I was a third form. I was here, living on site. Freedom felt like a bit lost, Yeah. But I was happy to be there, though, So,
Oh wow! What an awesome feedback! And I didn't know that you'd spent some time at St. Joe's there in Upper Hutt. Wow, that's amazing to hear. Now, look, have you managed to watch some of the other videos? You mentioned some names there that we've already done, the likes of Greg Mookie, for example. Have you enjoyed watching them and just catching up with guys?
Yeah, totally. I mean, Greg Mookie. He was a class. Always good sense of humor. I always like Greg. You always laugh at the most inconvenient times sometimes too. But yeah, a lot of the guys I really liked at St. Pat's. I mean, I don't know where I stood with among it sometimes. The third and fourth one were probably tough, quite hard for me at times because, I was still finding my way. I struggled staying in school, you know what I mean, knowing that, there's a world out there and here I'm at boarding school. But just seeing Colin Hancock. I really like Colin. I always like Colin, and I always remember him, you know, the funny thing for me was I went to St. Pat's, but I was a football player. And so when I went to St. Pat's, it was like massive rugby. I think there was like 32 rugby teams, you know what I mean, 10 football teams. So the first year I played football, and not many, I didn't really gain many friends from that sort of scenario. So next year I played rugby, and so it was my first time I ever played rugby. And I had to admit, I did enjoy it. It wasn't in the best teams, but it was quite a hard case. But from that, I ended up making some really good friends in my, it's still today, like brothers. I don't know if you remember Chaz Greeley and Simon Bennett.
Absolutely. Both
Yeah,
of them?
yeah. So we've been hanging out for years and still do, you know. Although Chaz is in Australia now, and Simon's in Christchurch, but you know, we see each other as much as we can in contact, you know. So, you know, that environment created long-term life friends. So you know, it was hard to argue sometimes when you gain those sort of friendships, you know.
Well, Simon, you mentioned Simon Bennett. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah. No, he's doing good. He's a roofer, you know.
Awesome.
You know, put him anywhere, mate. He'll build you anything. You know, he's that type of guy. You know. So yeah.
So just to remind the guys, how many years did you do, and when did you leave Stream?
I think I left at sixth form, just about quarter. My grandparents, they own a rest home and another house, and they sold that. And then they said to me, and said, look, you know, what do you want to do? Do you want to move, or do you want to stay boarding? And to be honest, by that time had enough of the boarding sort of school sort of scenario. To be honest, I think I was day boying by that time. And, you know, so I said, look, they said they're going to Hawke's Bay. So they said, you know, you want to come up? And I said, yeah, why not? And so I was there till sixth form, you know, brother Bede, you know, yeah. So so I was there till sixth form, and then I went to Cherrydale High School for a term, you know, or end of the year anyway, to the end of the year. You know, so,
wow. So what did you do your immediate year after finishing high school?
I left a year early, so I went back to Petone, funny enough, and I did what was it, sort of you know, chef's bartending course and all that sort of stuff, because I didn't know what to do. And I was hanging out with Rick and Ray Fido. I don't know if you guys remember. Yeah. So I was hanging out with him and Simon, and we were a bit of a interesting crew, to be honest. You know, the Fido twins, mate, they're a hard case, real hard case. And Thomas Dennison, we're hanging out with him, got up to some pretty crazy stuff around that time. A lot of parties, a lot of sort of impulsive stuff, put it that way. And but anyway, so I did a hospitality course and a computer course just to fill the time, really. And yeah, so that was it. And then I was probably going in a track that I wasn't really liking. And then I ended up coming back to Hawke's Bay with Simon and doing a fruit pick job. And then I ended up in a community in Hauepa, and which ended up it was a lot of hippies. And I kind of found my life, well, this is kind of a little bit what I kind of do anyway, but it was just hanging out with a whole lot of hippies. I don't know what you guys think of that, but it was cool for me. It was just really natural, organic, living a different lifestyle. And at the same time, I ended up working with disabilities, teenage, and I never met a disability person my whole life. So it was kind of a humbling sort of experience, sort of that. And that was the start of a journey of interesting things, you know.
Wow, that's incredible little snapshot there. Look, good segue. So what do you do for a job? What's work for you?
I'm a social worker. I've just got my master's. I've been working for government agencies for about 18 years.
Wow. And just go back a step, and you just got your master's as well.
Yeah, just got it just last year.
Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, kia ora, mate. Kia ora a lot. No, thank you. It was it was quite cool, actually. And I enjoy study. I was actually on this night shift. But yeah, I currently work for the crisis team, the CAT team.
Yep.
So I've been doing that. I've been working. I work for Child Youth and Family Probation, and then I went overseas, but I'm currently working for the emergency mental health addictions team, which is a CAT team, crisis team. It's an interesting job, I'll be honest, but I've been doing it off and on, well, the whole sort of mental health addictions for 15 years. But
Wow. Well,
yeah,
listen, I'm going to
so,
stop you there because I just want to say to you, look, well done, mate. Massive ups and respect to you. I know exactly the kind of work that you do. My mum's actually the CAT team here in Lower Hutt, administrator, has been for 20 years. I had a lot to do with the CAT team in policing, and what, amazing work. So work that you do. So, mate, just quietly, kudos to you. Well done.
Yeah, no, thank you, mate. It's I get it's. I mean, as you know from the police, because I work with the police a lot too, and I'm a DAO, section people under the act and blah blah blah. But yeah, you meet a lot of cool people, man. 90% of people are pretty cool. 10% are a bit out there and can get a bit dangerous at times or a bit sad and whatnot. But I just, my wife's a social worker, but I just enjoy working with people. Chaos, I don't mind that sort of chaos, and things not always being quite straight up and clear. And I guess part of my role is trying to get a bit of a logicness to it, make sure it's safe, and hope just make people realize, that, hey, look, there's someone here that does give a shit, and hey, look, hopefully we can send, get you safe first and send you in the right direction, so
I love what you're saying, mate, and I'm picking up the vibe from you. It sounds like we got the right person in the right job, so go you, man. Go you.
No, I think, you think sometimes, where does it start from, so you start from, I just remember school, boarding school and all that, meeting a lot of people. You got to learn to adapt to different groups, different scenarios, sometimes, so, and traveling and all that sort of stuff. And it's a privileged job in some ways, as as being a police officer too, it's tough, but you also, you're lucky to have that opportunity to meet so many people. And now, you
mentioned your wife. Tell us and introduce your wife and your children, if you have any, to us.
No, I've been lucky there. Catherine, we're married, we've been together for 20 years. We met in Australia, and so we've been, she's a social worker now too, so it's quite a hard case, with friends coming around and stuff like that. They say, look, we don't want to talk about anything social. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So,
how about the rugby?
It is. It's a good, true. And to be honest, I do switch off, so I kind of don't want to talk. When you're at a pub, you don't talk about your job. You talk about everything else but your job. But so but she's been great. She humbles me, makes me want to be a better person, and I always loved it because of her. She's honest, and that's cool for me. I like that sort of integrity type sort of thing about her, and from that we've got two awesome boys, two ginger nuts, two big ginger nuts now, but they're 18 and 16 years of age, and they go to Rudolf Steiner type school. I don't know if you
absolutely
know that. So we chose that sort of thing, and and they always think, why are they at that sort of school? And I said, well, if you weren't going to that school, you'd be going to school like St. John's or something like that. But so I think they sort of keep their mouth quiet there, but so I guess you can sort of see where our thinking pattern is with the schooling and stuff like that.
I do. I can hear it, and I commend you for it. You guys sound like some great parents. So well done.
It's ongoing, as you know.
Now, that's awesome. So where exactly is home for you now?
Well, I live in Hastings. It's great for summer. Summer's like 5 months up here, it feels. So we live in Hastings, Mayfair, quarter of an acre, like you put a fruit tree in your property and it's grown, I tell you that, which is really great, come awesome. Summer. So, and we like Hastings. I mean, I never thought I'd live in a place like Hastings, but, summertime vineyards, the beach is not too far away, and it beats Wellington weather, I tell you that.
Oh, I bet. Actually, I know, not bet.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the question that sort of rounds up our time sort of gives you an opportunity to tell us about I guess a time or a certain memory that you have that might just stick in your mind that maybe some people don't know of your time at Stream? It could be a maid, a sporting team, a teacher, anything. Is there something that really comes to mind for you?
Probably like a lot of people, there were a lot of good times. I also some tough times too, I have to admit, but dominantly good. I mean, Brother Bede was always, Brother Bede, I think he was always kind to me. And if he wasn't kind to, I still remember getting those canes, and I was still wondering why I was getting these canes sometimes, but we had a good relationship, and I felt sometimes, he could read me, what was sort of going on, if I was up to mischief or whatnot, but so he was awesome. Mrs. Curtin, I remember she was my English teacher. She was really helpful towards me. I was sad to hear about Ellis, was it Paul Ellis? Because he was my economics teacher too.
Yes.
And I remember, sitting at the back and sort of I don't know who was next to me was burning the desk, you know what I mean? Because with a lighter. And Paul, he didn't get angry, Once he got angry once with us, I remember. Most of the time we could be, not a great sort of class, but he wouldn't lose his rag like some teachers would, So, but to be honest, I had a lot of good memories. I remember one time, me and Chaz, we broke into the when we were boarders, we broke into the pantry. And that was because I think me and Chaz were the first people to do that. I jimmied the lock, and I remember opening up the door, and it was every biscuit you could imagine, Milo. And then when we opened up the freezer, and there was like massive amounts of cheesecake, and so we called ourselves the Cheesecake Gang just for that moment, because we were scoffing ourselves for cheesecakes. But and so we were doing that for for a good couple of months. But one of us couldn't keep our mouth shut. And I remember one day we were sneaking in and others were sneaking out. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, who the hell told? You know what I mean? So it's
oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it was a real, and we never got caught for that. So we did that for a while. But then it got a bit too busy, so we thought, we better not do this because someone's going to get snapped.
I can just see a line of bordering thieves lined up. So right, my turn. All right, he's finished the cheesecake. Someone's up for the pav. Right, I can see it now.
It was. Yeah, I mean, we were actually looking for the wine, but you know what I mean. Food was good. Food was good at boarding school.
All right. Hey, listen. I've taken up enough of your time, mate. It's. I'm glad you've got to see some of the videos, if not all of them. I hope you get a time to catch up with them. Now, look, we've got this foundation dinner at the end of the month. Do you think there may be a chance you could make it?
Yeah, no, we're going to be there. I'm hoping my wife. I'm definitely going to go because, I've. There's a couple of, I should say there's more than a couple of guys I want to catch up with. Just say hello, see how you're going. Look,
and there's a lot of guys that would like to catch up with you. And of course, your wife is more than welcome. We're going to make a special effort, I guess, to make sure that our wives are looked after, introduced to one another and to the team, because I know what it's like when a bunch of streamers can get together. They can tend to go off on a tangent, so we'll make sure they're looked after as well. But listen, that's great.
Yeah.
That's good news that you're thinking about coming, man.
Oh, totally. I mean, I go down there from time because I've still got family in what's that place? Somewhere in Upper Hutt anyway. And so I still go down there, twice a year sort of thing, go down to Wellington. Yeah. So, So
well, I'll tell you what, Troy, I have the fondest memories of you. You always had a smile on your face. You were cheeky, but you were just always happy when I saw you. We got the privilege to hang out a bit because you were a fellow W, so you were in Egan House with me.
Yeah, I remember that.
Jamie and Martin Watterson and Greg Watts and all the other Ws. So we were always at the end of whether it be the ranks line or
I always thought whatever it was out too, because the W's were good, but everything else in the letters of the alphabet weren't that great. I felt, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, mate. Finally, the rest of the guys will be watching this. We're going to release this one. So, have you got a message to the rest of the boys, particularly the ones you haven't seen in a long time?
Oh yeah, no, cool. I mean, I just hope as many can come down. I mean, I don't. This. Like I said, what is it? how many years now?
28.
28 years. So, and I still have a lot of good fond men, at school, we got up to so many, I remember so many good fun times, parties and, good sporting moments and academic, even though I wasn't a great academic, but just, I don't know, I had a lot of, good times, good talks, good conversation. And also I was a cheeky ass, and I learnt a lot from those moments, to be honest. It set me up nicely for what I currently do. Shut my mouth sometimes, so it's, so no, it'll be great in the morning that comes along. And it's a Saturday night, isn't it?
Yeah.
So be great. More people come along, and hopefully some of you come up and say hello.
Oh, no, I know they will. Well, listen, thanks for joining us. And once again, congratulations on obtaining a master's. That is no small feat. And just living your life as you are in general, Troy. It's been a privilege to talk to you, mate. It's good to see you. Yeah. You're looking great. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, Troy Wathey, thank you.
Thank you, Eugene. Awesome. Kia ora, bro. Thank you.
Kia ora.